Back in Algebra 1, you learned that some quadratic equations have no real solutions. For instance, the quadratic equation x squared plus 1 equals 0. If we tried to solve this, first we would have x squared equals negative 1. And then, extracting square roots, x equals plus or minus square root of negative 1. This equation has no real solution because there is no real number x that can be squared to produce negative 1. To overcome this deficiency, mathematicians created an expanded system of numbers using the imaginary unit, defined as I equals the square root of negative 1. So if we continued on with this same example, let's say we bring it down here, x equals plus or minus square root negative 1 means that x equals plus or minus I, the imaginary unit. You can write a number as such as square root of negative 3 in standard form by factoring out the square root of negative 1. So the square root of negative 3 becomes the square root of 3i. And I prefer to write I square root 3 so that we know that I is not in the radical. This is called the principal square root because the principal square root is the positive square root of a number. So the square root of negative a, its principal square root is I square root a.